when we are doing Ayahuasca journeys, we drink the plant medicine. And the plant medicine called Mother Ayahuasca, or sometimes the grandmother, gives you beautiful insights into your life. So you can ask any question. Some people say it's like speaking to spirit or to the source. It's quite profound to be able to speak to Mother Aya and to receive her downloads and to receive her wisdom and for her to guide you. And not only that, but if you have deep trauma and if there's something that you want to shift that's been there for a very long time rooted, it's one of the fastest way to shift it. When the ceremony is really big, people can't walk by themselves, for example, to go to the washroom. The medicine is so strong that you really got to take them when they need to and walk back with them. They got to lean on you physically. It's not just when I say leaning on, is like physically also leaning on at times. So here we are in the final ceremony. It was a fairly calm night. There wasn't anything really big. And nobody really needed me. They could walk to the washroom by themselves. The impact wasn't as big. They already cleared a lot, so it was more like inward and getting insights and downloads from Mother Ayahuasca. I'm kind of like with the medicine, and Mother Aya is speaking to me, and she tells me, like, this person, and that person in the room, here's what you need to tell them. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll wait till we're done. And in the morning, people kind of like, after the medicine is already done, they were awake the whole night. They're kind of like a little sleepy, and then they kind of start to wake up towards the medicine coming. I'll tell them, and the person next to me goes like, Chen. I go like, what? And she goes, can you give me some courage? I need some courage. And I started laughing, and she goes, why are you laughing? I go, because that's what Mother Aya told me to give you. So I guess Mother Aya meant now, not in the morning, now. Okay, I got the message. Because I was waiting for morning time, but that's fine. We can do it right now. So I go and I sit with her, and I give her, like, I really put my hand on her, and I gave her a lot of courage and love, and sat with her for a bit. And I had this idea because of, the feminine divine is something that's so powerful. I was like, I want to bring the feminine divine into this ceremony. So as I sat with her, I said, hey, is it okay if I have your hand for a minute? She goes, yes. And I have this amazing cream that has this like gorgeous smell. It's just yummy. And then I said to her, is it okay if I sit with you? And she says, yes, give me your hand. And then I took cream and I started to like touch it with the feminine divine and put the cream on. And I put like the hand on the back and like touch her with the sabrosura. And I sat there for a while. I gave her all this energy. And after a while, I said, are you good to stay by yourself? She's like, yeah, I'm really good now. And then I got up, and it's like when you're at nighttime, it's like you don't have any light. It's supposed to be complete darkness. And when you're in the medicine, bright light is too much. So you have a red light. So I'm kind of like turning on my red light, trying to understand where I'm going, trying to find the second person the Mother Aya said to me. And I end up with someone else that wasn't in the plan. And then I sat down and I said, I think everybody should get the feminine divine tonight. So I made it like a decision that I'm going to sit with all of them. And then I'm like sitting with her, and I go, like, can I have your hand? And she goes, yes. And then I started giving her the same thing with the cream and the feminine divine. And she just started crying. And you could tell that there was a mother wounding, just receiving that and feeling that and being in the medicine. She just started crying. And I was like, and I kept touching her, and it's like giving her sabrosura and the cream and the smell. And after a while, I was like, are you good to stay? She goes, yeah, I'm okay now. Thank you. And then I went one by one. And then ultimately, I got to the person that I was trying to get to after I did all of them. And I got to her, and I said, can I sit with you? She said, yes. I said, can I have your arm? And she said, yes. And I started kind of touching her arm again with the cream and the smell. And I said, Mother Aya wanted you to know that, you don't have to stay secluded inside. You can connect with people. And so I'm here to kind of, because I've been asking you all week how you're doing, and you're kind of like locked in. So just know that you can. And then she opened up and she was like, oh, just so you know that Mother Aya was teaching me how to put boundaries, which is why I'm kind of like disconnected. But now I feel like I can come out now that I've practiced the whole week how to hold it. So it was just such a beautiful moment. And for you to also understand that sometimes, when we see someone from the outside, right, if we make it mean something, right, we can see someone and they're kind of like blocking, and we think, oh, they're rejecting me. They don't want me there. Right. And in that moment, it's just the person who's going through something that they have to go through. That was such a beautiful moment where she was like, no, I'm just like, I didn't know how to hold my boundaries the way I needed to. And she was teaching me, and I've been like really holding it so forcefully to hold it. But now I understand that I can kind of relax a bit, and I can let also. So some things in, and it was just such a beautiful moment. So I was done with her, and then there was a woman who was there who was the whole week there, and she didn't have any support. And she came to our group, and she was like, "You're so lucky to have this support package. I wish I had that." The jungle is jungle rough, and when you're going through that integration, and it's, you know, you have a facilitator that is with you if you need something, but it's not the same as someone who's assigned to you as a somatic coach from morning till night, and their job is just to be with you, right? So I went to her and I gave her a little bit of that. She started crying as well. Like that was just like, she was like, "Thank you so much. I needed that." And then I went to the final person that Mother Aya wanted me to say something to out of the three. And this woman is a powerhouse. Or as Mother Aya described her, she's like the phoenix, but her power, when she doesn't get her needs met, she burns you down. So I went to her and I was like, "Can I sit with you?" And she said, "Yes." She said, "Just the smell in the room. That's it. That's a whole retreat right there." Yeah, because I wasn't thinking of the smell. I was sitting in it. I said, "Can I have your hand?" She said, "Yes." And I started touching her hand and again, giving her the sabrosura and with the cream. And, you know, it's like, and I said, "Mother Aya wanted me to give you a message." She said to tell you that you don't have to burn the person in front of you down when you need something. That if you came with your feminine divine, and I'm still touching her, like relaxing her, if you came with your feminine divine and you spoke it, your needs will be met. And I said to her this morning, "You burned me down. You know, I spoke about something and I understood that what I spoke about in the room was too much energy for you. That wasn't right for you in the medicine. I totally understood why you wanted that to stop. It was completely okay to ask for it, but you don't have to burn me down. You can just tell me. And I promise I will always respect your needs. Like there's no reason for me not to, but you assume that no one will be able to meet you and then you burn the person down." And Mother Aya wanted you to know that if you bring your feminine divine and you ask for what you need, your needs will be met. I went back after that to my bed and I was like, "I think I'm done." I think I've done my thing, you know, and it just also to remind us the feminine divine is such a powerful thing that we can bring into different situations to diffuse them, you know, in that moment. And I said that to that retreat leader. I said, "When you talked to me the way you did and you were so aggressive towards me, my heart shut down to you." And I was like, "I just kind of cut you off." And Mother Aya said, "No, open up your heart to her. Go and talk to her. Tell her what I told you to say." And it was such a beautiful message also for me because it's like we want to just write the person off, right? Here's the black marker and here we go. You're gone. Right? It's so easy to do that. But what if we're able to hold that, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not mine, it's hers. It's because she's carrying the trauma. That's why she's also doing ayahuasca ceremonies, right? We all carry some level. Even people who are doing beautiful work for years and working with others, we heal ourselves as well. If anybody wants to join us for any Aya retreat, just let me know. I feel very confident now saying this will change your life.